got me running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Raise your hands up. Raise them up.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the After Dark show. It is that time again. It's Tuesday, it's 10, and we are talking relationships. We are talking about lots of different things tonight. But before we go any further, my camera's doing its own thing. Let me just close the door. In my home studio today, unfortunately we have lost a giant in the black community this week. A young man, as I call him, Paul Lawrence, passed away very suddenly, and it has hit our community big time. And so before we start the show, we on the After Dark show just want to pay our respects to the giant of a man who was the CEO of Just Tickets and also the founder member of 100 Black Men of London. And we want to just do a 1 minute silence. But before we do that, I just want us to just reflect on where we are and who we are as a people. Whether you're black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter what color you are. I just want us to just take this moment and just reflect and really just send positive energy out into the universe, because this man was a positive man. He was a trailblazer in his own right. And as I said in the beginning, it has hit our community big time. So before I bring in one of our panel members, just to say a few words about him, I just want us to take a moment of silence. I want to say thank you. Thank you for doing that. And thank you for showing your respect for the big man that he was, the big personality that he was, the leader that he was. And before we go any further, because, you know, I just believe in giving respect where respect is due. And even though I wasn't a close friend of Paul Lawrence, I recognize the work that he did within our community. And so I'm just going to invite our Tony Cox just to join me shortly, just to come on and just give a few words, because he knew him very well. And I just want him to do that before we get into tonight's show. So, Tony, are you there?
I'm here. Hi, good evening, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Tony.
Thank you very much, Yvonne, for that moment of silence for a dear friend and a colleague. You know, you've mentioned about Paul being the CEO of Just Tickets, a black-owned ticketing organisation, very similar to Eventbrite, but obviously doing it from a keeping the business within the black community and you know, recycling the black pound, and also being a founder member of the 100 Black Men of London, which is a chapter of the 100 Black Men of America of which there are over 50 chapters, which he started in 2001. So next year, in fact, will be the 20th year anniversary of the charity. It is a charity, it's run as a charity. Everybody who works within the charity is a volunteer, and we strive to improve and give our children a step up in terms of understanding the world, understanding life, understanding themselves. Knowledge of self is very important, giving them the self-esteem to become great individuals as adults. I know Paul. I knew Paul before I even joined the 100, in fact, because for a number of years I've been circling around the community, trying to ingratiate myself in and amongst my community. So wherever I see functions happening, where I feel I can contribute or help, whether that be shows, fairs, knowledge, theatre, cinema, you name it, whatever I can do, I get there, I get myself out there and I try to help out. And I noticed some years ago that I was coming across the same group of people. Wherever I went, I would see similar faces. And that's a good thing. That's people who are of a like mind, who want to go out and see cinema, who want to go out and see theatre, who want to go to educational shows, who want to try and help when they see black startup organizations. And one of those people that I kept meeting was the larger than life character, which is Paul Lawrence. And he and I kept meeting and saying our usual black man, hello, how you doing? And then eventually I ended up working with Paul. And I can say that he became, for me, a life mentor because I learned so much from him. The man is an amazing character. For those who didn't know him, you will obviously, get a chance to, at some point in time, I'm absolutely certain, get to see some of the work that he's done, because he has done so much for us as a community in so many different ways, which we don't have time today to discuss them all. But thank you very much, Yvonne, for letting me come on and say, that Paul Lawrence was a wonderful man for the black community, for the community at large, and will be sorely missed.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. And our hearts go out to the family, and we send our sincere condolences. And if there is anything that we can do as a team on the After Dark show, please do let us know. Okay, so we are going to move on with the show. It's such a sudden thing, and I just felt that it would be the right thing to do, just to salute the great man. So we are on the After Dark show, and so this week, well, let's start with last week. Last week we saw a clip from a coach who was having a conversation with a woman who he asked her to give an account of what she thought, her standard was out of 10, what she would class herself out of 10. And he also said to her, she can't use a number 7. We had this conversation. It got spicy. It calmed down. It got spicy again, and it calmed down again. And we came to the conclusion last week that, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Nobody can actually say, you're going to die, really. Because he said, you're going to die alone. She's an average looking woman. And we know that beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And, what was he comparing her to? Anyway, so this week, in my inbox, this is hilarious to me. I've got these videos people keep sending me, but one in particular stood out for me. One, because this is a British lady. We're not going to America tonight. We're staying on home soil tonight. We have a lady that was on this morning talking about how she feels about herself. And so we are going to play the clip, and then we're going to have an open discussion about it. But we're going to first start with the men, and it's just Tony's representing the men today. Waiting for Theo to come in, and then he's got his box comes on. So we're going to get Tony we're going to watch the video. Men, those of you who are on Facebook, those of you who are on YouTube, the keyboard warriors, get ready, because we want to hear from you tonight. Men, this is your moment. And then we're going to bring in the women, because we do have a panel of women who have got something to say as well. So without further ado, let us bring in the video. Are we ready?
You're having trouble dating. Why? In what way?
Various reasons. Number one, obviously.
Oh. Okay, we're going to wait and watch again, see if we can get it.
You're having trouble. You're having trouble dating. Why? In what way?
Various reasons. Number one, obviously, I'm a very attractive woman. Number two, I look very young. Number three, I'm very fun. And I'm not your typical 44-year-old woman of 4 children. So I'm finding that younger guys are messaging me, wanting to take me out, but they just want me because I'm hot. And then the older guys don't put any effort into themselves, but yet they want me to send them pictures of me looking good, and they want to look at my body, and then they say, okay, I'll go out with you. But even if they don't, they still want to go out with me because I look young for my age.
And what do your children say about this? Because you, like you said, you've got 4 children. You've got 24-year-old, 22-year-old and 18-year-old twins. So they're adult children.
Yeah.
How do they feel about having a hot mum?
Well, they've had it all their life, obviously, I'm not one to say, but they feel like I need to maybe lower my standards,
right,
and find someone that is the similar age.
You're having trouble dating. Why? In what way?
Various reasons. Number one, obviously, I'm a very attractive woman. Number two, I look very young. Number three, I'm very fun, and I'm not your typical 44-year-old woman of 4 children. So I'm finding that younger guys are messaging me, wanting to take me out, but they just want me because I'm hot. And then the older guys don't put any effort into themselves, but yet they want me to send them pictures of me looking good, and they want to look at my body, and then they say, okay,
Okay, so we seem to be having some technical hitches there, but I wanted you to just kind of get the gist of what the young lady is saying. So, contrast from last week, because the lady last week said that she felt that she was a 5 in the morning and a 6 after applying makeup. Here we have this British lady who hasn't put a number on where she ranks, or she feels she ranks. However, she has openly said that she is too beautiful to find love. She says she's attractive, fun, young looking, and is a mother of 4. Now, I did send this out to our panel group, so I think Tony would have seen the whole video as such. So you kind of get a gist of where we are going for tonight's show. So Tony, I'm going to ask you the question. What were your thoughts on first what this young lady's saying, and then in comparison to last week, then we're going to open up the conversation.
Okay, so my first thought is, can you hear me? Yeah?
Yeah,
loud and clear.
You.
Great,
Loud
fantastic. Okay, so my initial thought is, it all boils down to her interpretation of what she sees herself as. She sees herself as a beautiful
we've lost
young
your
lady.
sound. We've lost your sound, Tony.
Oh, not sure what's going on there.
But you're not.
Can you hear me now?
So I don't know. Hi, Theo.
Theo can hear me, so I'm gonna carry on. But yeah,
carry on.
This woman, you know, she's got a very high confidence in herself, and she showed it. She basically, you know, showed out and said, I'm beautiful and black, I'm beautiful and got kids, I'm older but still beautiful, and I can't find romance because I'm too beautiful. And it just made me think, you know, wow, good luck to her. Good luck to her. I hope she finds the man of her dreams. Obviously, there's an air of arrogance in there. There's, you know, facetiousness. But you know what? Let people live, man. I'm one of those kind of guys that think, you know what? If you feel that about yourself, go with it. Go with it. You know, I mean, you know, look, there's too many people in this world who put themselves down, you know? So it's great. It's almost edifying to hear somebody, a black woman, glorifying herself. Because we know that as a people, black women and black men were demeaned so much that they didn't think much of themselves. And we still have that self-hatred amongst us. So this woman has clearly come through that. She's come out the other side. And she's now over-glorifying herself. But I'm not going to go say anything bad, you know. Yes, there's a tinge of arrogance about her. But you know what? Have that about you. You know, when Iron Mike Tyson came out as a boxer and he said, my style is impregnable. I will beat anybody. I'm the greatest. Yeah. Muhammad Ali did the same. He said, I am the greatest of all time. I beat Sonny Liston. I just turned 18 years old. I must be the greatest. So you know what? Have that about you. Have that arrogance. You know, I don't think there's anything to have to justify to anybody that, you know what, you aren't what you say you are. We term each other kings and queens. And some people must be thinking, why does he think he's a king? Why must he call her a queen? Well, you know what? We came from kings and queens. Am I over dramatizing the situation? Am I being arrogant? So I just take it and I run with it. Let the woman be what she want to be. She's old, you know, she's confident in herself. I'm gonna live with that. And I hope she finds someone. She is beautiful. Somebody out there is looking at her and thinking, Jesus Christ, this woman is beautiful. And therefore, she's going to find her king.
Okay, thank you for that, Tony. That was very interesting. Very interesting. Right, so Theo, how are you?
I'm good. Good evening. Good evening. How you doing, Tony? You all right, brother? So what do I think of that woman in the video?
Yeah, did you get a chance to have a look at it?
Yeah. I watched it about 4 times. She's cool. As Tony says, she's doing her thing. She's living her truth, as he like to say, her confidence. So go for it. Some guys will find it overbearing if that's how she is when she's with them. But she said she's not like that. She wants to encourage a guy, push him forward and help him to help himself, which might be the stumbling block for her. Because some guys don't want to be told that. Depending how you're saying it, I suppose. If she's talking to the guy like how she's talking about herself, the guy will take it in the negative. But her bigging up herself, I have no problem with that. Big up yourself, man. I wish more women did that themselves. You know, enhance themselves, big up themselves, have more confidence in themselves. I say, look, yeah, I'm good looking. You know, I value myself. She values herself, which is not a problem. Women talk about it. She's actually saying it. I'm valued, and this is where I value myself, and I'm not going to drop my standards for some guy. I've heard you say that, Yvonne. I'm not going to lower my standards for some guy because he's down here. I must pull him up. He's a big man. So I've heard quite a few ladies say that, but I've heard you definitely say that, Yvonne. So no problem with her, what she's saying. Maybe the way she's going about it, maybe it's a bit much for them on TV. They're not used to that kind of woman, you know, being so brash and braggadocious about themselves. But I have no problem with that. I like a confident woman, so it's all good, man. Be confident. But if she's talking to a guy like that, then yeah, that will be definitely a stumbling block. A guy will be like, yeah, you think you're all that. So you know what? Stay over there. You carry on thinking you're pretty. We leave you up on the shelf. So that's why the guy said, as a partner said, what did he say? Approach with caution, or she should come with a warning label or something like that. That's what one of her exes said. So there's obviously something more to her than just she's super confident. Maybe she is talking like that all the time. So I don't know. But she done well. She got 4 kids out of it. So hey, she done something right somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know.
She have 4 children.
She have 4.
That's right.
So
That's right.
she did something. But yeah, her being confident, I have no problem with that. It's just how she portrays it. If she's like that all the time, then yeah, she ain't gonna find any man, because that will be off-putting for men.
Right.
And I think that'd be off-putting for a woman if a man was talking like that. Look at me, I'm the hottest thing, I'm good looking, I'm this. I think that'd be off-putting for women as well. If it was roles the reverse, the man would be saying that, there he goes, look, I'm beautiful. I don't know why, guy. Bit like the guy last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is the purpose of the show, to give it some contrast. Of last week, it was very, we were talking about self-esteem and how this coach was putting this woman down, and I really wanted to give some kind of context to the show, just to show that, you know, there's all different types of people in the world, and they all have different opinions of themselves. As you went through, I mean, I've got some questions here. You just like answered all the questions.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Is the show over now then?
On a roll, it's like, yeah, and, you know, men, I don't know.
Sorry, Tony, next time we just start talking, we're going to be asking all the questions before.
No need to apologise. No need to apologise, because we do. I do want to talk about her confidence. I do want to touch on that, because, you know, because I sent this out. This was sent to me, and then I sent it out to a few people, some male friends of mine, just to get their perspective. And I would say 9 out of 10 of them said that they would not like a woman like that, right? Because she was too confident. So my thing is, last week we saw the woman who wasn't confident. Now we're seeing a woman who's overly confident, maybe, I don't know. And so, you know, we're talking about relationships, and we're talking about what men and what women want. And so there's like, this thing is not balancing here, because it's like, you know, if you're not confident, you're not attractive. But if you're too confident, you're not attractive. So where do we get the middle ground? So, and I hear what Tony has said in terms of, you know, we have been undermined, you know, we've been demonized as people, let's be honest, over the years, and we've grown up a lot. Many people, are Black people, have grown up with self-hatred, and so we have this thing where some of us are struggling with our self-esteem, and then we've got some who are really, really like, yeah, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. Now, you know, we know that one of the examples that Tony did mention was Muhammad Ali, right? He did mention Ali, isn't it? And yeah. He said, as a matter of fact, he said he was the greatest before he even knew he was. And that is something in my line of work, in the coaching area, we tell our clients, act as if you're the best, act as if you're confident, act as if, until you feel it, until you know what that feeling's like. So I looked at this video and I laughed. And I said, this is something that has to come on the show, because we need to unpick this. So I'm not going to say anything more than this. I'm going to bring in the ladies. Ladies, where are you? Come in. Oh, hold on, before you bring the ladies in. Hold on.
Yeah, I did just wanted to also mention about the self-hatred, because for Black people, for those who, you know, may not be aware of it, there's this stigma of the dark-skinned Black woman, and it has perpetrated itself so badly that in the continent of Africa we have a lot of black women, dark-skinned Black women, who are bleaching their skin in order to conform with Eurocentric ideologies of beauty. So, you know, when we have that going on, there's absolutely a need for us to elevate ourselves and to get that mentality away.
Fantastic. Thank you for adding that, Tony. Thank you, because you're just taking the show where it needs to go. You see, this is what it's about tonight. It's not so much. Well, let me not say nothing. Let me just shut my mouth and let's bring in the ladies. Can you come on in, ladies? And I'll say good evening to them. Tisha, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Faye.
Hi, good evening.
Hi,
Hi.
Hi, Sheena.
Hi.
Ladies, now we have seen the video, right? Now, gentlemen, if I'm honest, this video went to the ladies first. I did post this in their group first, before putting it in the combined group. So I wanted to hear what the ladies had to say on this. So, ladies, it's an open platform. You know how this works. I want to hear what your thoughts are when you saw, what was your first impression, what you saw when you heard what this lady had to say. Who would like to jump in? Go on, Tisha, your hands up.
Yeah, so
can we hear Tisha?
you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Brilliant.
I can't hear
Yeah,
her.
when I heard the video, I was like, yeah, go for it, girl. Yeah, confidence. I love Phil's reaction. He really wanted to burst out laughing. I love that. He was really trying to hold it in. And you could see with her eye contact, she was like looking away from him. She already, like Yvonne said, she'd already kind of coached herself, like, I am amazing, I am beautiful. And she was in that kind of mindset, wasn't she? She then went on to list all the other stuff that she's got going on with her. But I just thought, yeah, go for it. At the end of the day, if you don't think you're beautiful, how can you expect anyone else to? And you show people how to treat you. So if you're not confident, if you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't have good, like if you have low self-esteem, if you like, then people are going to treat you like that. So you've got to go out there and just show people what you're worth. So good on her. And there were some other things that she mentioned about the struggles of dating. But I think we'll talk about that later. But yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so I couldn't hear anything that Tisha said. So can someone just give me a brief synopsis of who I can hear? I know I can hear Theo. Theo, can you just give a brief synopsis of what was said?
Tisha just said basically just go for it. She was telling the girl, good. It's been so much time bringing themselves down. She was saying if a woman doesn't believe she's confident or beautiful, then who else is going to believe that?
Good point. Valid point. Okay, thank you, Tisha. I'm sorry I couldn't hear. But who wants to come in? Come on, ladies. Oh, all right. Barbara, then Faye, then Sheena.
Hello, everyone. I've been here for ages, so I'm really excited. Okay, so when I first watched it, I think I agree with what people are saying in terms of confidence. It's really good for a woman to be confident. And what Tisha was saying, it shows people how to treat you, etc. I just feel initially when I watched it first, because I've watched it quite a few times today, it was like, oh, just a little bit much. And I thought in terms of how she presents herself to men, I know, it can come across off-putting. That's what I thought initially, because it could be just kind of construed as, oh, I'm just too nice, kind of thing. So that's what I thought initially. But I do agree. It's good. I mean, good for her. I'm glad that she does have that confidence in herself, because like Tony was saying, for too long, some Black people have not felt that beauty, and people have put us down and stuff. I mean, even myself, when I was younger, I would say I didn't seem, I didn't feel like I was beautiful. Now, I know I'm beautiful, but I don't need to actually say those words. I feel like how I carry myself, people just see that beauty. I don't need to say it. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a little bit of a balance. You have to kind of get a bit of a balance. I'm not saying she needs to change who she is, but I think maybe she just needs to be aware that how she portrays herself can potentially put off potential suitors. That's what I think. But yeah, and it's good to be back again.
It's great to have you back, Barbara. Good to see you. Good to see you. Faye, thank you for your comments. Faye, what's your thoughts?
Good evening, everyone. I was all for the comments that she had made up until the point when Philip said your ex had a different opinion. Now, it's all very well having confidence and having, and saying that out loud, but attractiveness and beauty is not just about what you are on the outside. So I would have been interested to hear the ex's take on what that beauty really looked like, because on the outside you can look absolutely stunning but have a personality that is crap. So that's the thing that sort of got me up until that point. I was fine with her comments, because I think it is for far too long
Black women, you know, a lot of us have felt like we, you know, are not attractive, and especially because of the industry and how that makes us feel, especially for dark skinned, light skinned women. Maybe because she's lighter skinned, she has that perception because of that. Who knows? It may not just be because she feels that way. It may be because the industry sees her that way. So obviously she's going to see herself that way. But up until when Philip Schofield said about the ex and what he had to say, which wasn't revealed on the show, I would have been interested to see the personality and how beautiful she really was, or is, should I say.
Okay, thank you for that, Faye. Thank you for your comments. Okay, come on, Sister Sheena, give us your comments.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me? Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I watched it a few times myself. I actually found it really funny. Because, yeah, I mean, in all honesty, it's really good. And I support the fact that she is confident and she is an attractive woman. But you can't have them attitudes and expect man to come flying and lying down for you. It don't work so, right? It's good to be confident, but just hold back on the confidence, especially if you're looking to be in a relationship. I mean, for me, when I was younger, I always felt I wasn't as attractive as most of my friends, and you know, because I was dark skinned, still am, you know, still chocolate, and yeah, people used to run me and say how I'm ugly, and I had one person turn and say to me, maybe I need to get a scouring brush and scrub my face because I'm so dark. So I've had some hurtful comments made in my life. So yeah, I'm all for women having confidence. I think that's a really important thing because it really just shows people I'm me, I'm strong, I'm black and I'm beautiful. Long live the king. I don't know, but yeah, that's just my take on it. But yeah.
Okay, we've got a comment from Lolly Lorraine there. Can we put that comment up before I bring Tisha in? The comment from Lolly about how she was raised. I think she was saying that she was always told that she was cute. Yeah, there again. I agree with Barbara, and being light-skinned myself, I know that's why it's gone to her head. It was installed into me from a small child that I was cute because I'm light. I know, though, I'm beautiful because of my personality. Thank you for that, Lorraine. But I don't know how to compare to that statement because I am not a light-skinned person. But then I would be not classed as a dark-skinned person either. So I think I'm a little bit of in between. But I know that certainly that growing up around my siblings who were all lighter skin tone than me, that it was a thing. The lighter skin was a thing, and it was something that was I won't say instilled, but there was the talk of the light skin and the dark skin, and there was a difference between how siblings were treated. The darker you got, the harsher treatment you got. It did seem that way, but it might not have necessarily been about that. It may have been about something else. But I want to go back to this lady because I think when you first see the headline, "I'm too beautiful to find a relationship," it gives the perception of something, and then once she starts talking and you kind of go into what she's saying, you kind of get into that. Yeah, okay. And in the beginning, yeah, she is saying I'm beautiful, you know. She says, and I did write it down because I found it quite funny. She said she finds it hard to get a date because she's attractive, she's fun. My camera just wants to just do its own thing today. She's fun, she's a mother of 4, and she's young. And she finds that younger people are attracted to her because she looks young. And so I actually, I think initially when she speaks, she's misunderstood. As she goes on in the conversation, it changes. And you're kind of that, yeah, I want to be with somebody and I'm lifting people up and I'm this and I'm that. So you kind of get the sense of her personality as well. It's not just about her looks, but she does value, and I'm going to drop that word, she does value what she looks like. And that is something that not many women do. I don't care how you want to say you're beautiful and blah, blah, blah. You don't. And I say that because I come across hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of women. And when you get down to the core, the belief is not there. The value is not there. And so I want to bring in Tisha, because I know Tisha's got something to say. I don't know. I'm hoping I can hear you this time.
Right. Hi. Can you hear me? Oh,
I know you can. So
hear me,
I think what we're going to do, is you're going to say,
We can
I know
hear her.
you guys
We
can
hear her.
I
She's
can't.
loud and
I can hear
clear.
everybody else, but I can't hear Tisha.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we can hear
So
her.
what I want you to do is, Tisha, you're going to say, and someone just paraphrase, so I can kind of just get the gist. Don't have to say everything, but just paraphrase. So, because I just want to keep the show going, and then maybe come in and leave and come back. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you
Maybe
have to say first.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So so I listened to it a couple of times. It does look like they were hamming it up a bit, right? You could see in her face that she wasn't. You could see there was an inkling of uncomfortableness really in there. And then when she got further into the conversation, it was that dilemma of, yeah, she looks young. She wants a young, active, good-looking man like herself. At her age, she's 44. She does look good. She does look good, right? So she wants someone on par. That's it, I think. And I can completely understand that as well. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a fantastic looking or whatever, but I'm young for my age. Oh, thank you. I'm young for my age. I'm probably
Beautiful sister.
Thank you. I'm a bit immature for my age. I want to have fun. I like going out, want a party, and I want a partner who's on par to me and wants like to go traveling and go to different restaurants, whatever. So, but then you might attract younger men which aren't on par with you. They like the older looking women, but they might not be able to afford the same lifestyle as you or whatever. And then she's attracting older men what might not look as good as her, or might be a bit like, you know, rusty or falling apart, if you like. Do you know what I mean? Well, at an older age,
okay, can I get some of that? Because I don't know what.
Time out, Tisha. Time out. Let me break that down for you, Yvonne. So basically, Tisha is saying that she's very young-minded and she's looking for a younger person, and Tisha understands that vibrancy that she's bringing to the table, because she herself is an elder woman who is very young and vibrant looking. And Tisha, you don't look above 25 if you ask me. But yeah, so yeah, Tisha totally understands what she's saying, and that maybe she might struggle because some of the younger men might not be mentally or financially at her level, and maybe some of the older men might not be what she's looking for. Did I get that right, Tisha?
Well, physically able to keep up with her. And mentally able.
And mentally.
Yeah.
You forgot the rusty bit as well.
Rusty, yeah.
I couldn't mention the rusty bit.
A bit rusty.
Did you see my face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Tisha, once you've said your bit, can you come and come back in?
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm missing it. I feel like I'm trying to lip sync. I'm trying to lip read, and it's just fast. I'm not getting there.
I want to see what you guys say.
Okay,
so yeah, I'll stay.
There was a comment from Bertram Spence that I would like to bring up, and also from
what's up, Bertram? Hope you're well. Bertram, just so you know, he's in New York. He's one of my friends.
Okay. Well, good evening, Bertram. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, Bertram Spence says, why this fascination with one's complexion? Dark, light, etc. People are trying to get a tan and yet some bleach. The biggest challenge for Black women in the UK are Black men who make Black women feel insecure about their beauty. Thank you very much for your comment, Bertram. I like that comment very much because I do agree with that. I do agree. There was another comment that came up about what ethnicity was the lady. I can't remember who it was who brought that comment up, but it was about the ethnicity, or was her part, what ethnicity was her partner. Yes, Tony.
So just wanted to read a quick comment from one of my other friends in my private chat room. He says, aren't most black people young for their age?
Yeah, we are. Absolutely. That's very true. That is not even the truth. It's just very true. That is it. On point. We are. We look good. I think. It's I am natural mystic. Go. Not that comment. The one before that, please. If you can go. Something. I've just seen the clip. I know that we were on a time delay. It says something like, I've just seen the clip. Is she mixed heritage, or depends what she's looking for, one bam or something more long term? Sounds like the woman in the video missed out on her younger years as she had her children quite young. That could be part of it. Her experience of having her children, she's got grown children, the youngest being 18 and she's 45 or something like that. So yeah, she did have her children young. Shell Williams says, I'm perfectly incomplete. I always find ways to improve me for me. Some say it's because I'm not happy with me, but I'm obsessed with self-care. And if I gain a pound, it makes me sad, but I'm doing it for me. Thank you for that, Shell. Thank you for that comment, because we know that there are many women who do things for other people and not necessarily for themselves. Barbara, was your hand up? No, it's just excitement. Right, so, okay, so this lady said that the men who approach her, the older men that approach her, are not what she would necessarily want, or they are coming up a little bit short in terms of her standards. Now, one of the questions that I had, and I'll just throw it out. I think Theo did answer it for himself, but I will throw it out here. And I don't normally write down questions at all. I just go by the seat of my pants, really. Is this type of confidence attractive? And I want to ask the men, because we as women, we can say and feel what we like, but at the end of the day, the men have the answer. We don't. So, is this confidence, her confidence, so I would say her confidence is a 10, right? If we were to put a figure on it. Is a woman whose confidence at a 10 attractive to men in this day and age?
Okay, so I'm going to answer that question. This day and age, are we talking about younger generation, or are we talking about elder generation?
We're talking about our generation.
Right.
Because we're
our generation of men, I believe, more than most, I believe the larger number would look at that and be able to live with it. Because when you've had experience of life, you get to a point where you can understand certain things. This character, this lady, is the exact same character we saw in a film, and I don't even remember it, Boomerang. Yeah? Who remembers Boomerang with Eddie Murphy?
Sean Jay?
Yeah? Grace Jones.
Sean Jay, yes.
Sean Jay is the exact same character. And you know what? Sean Jay was everything about the strong black woman. And you could say, well, you know what? She's too much. But there was a guy who's played by another great character from the blacks who was on the side, and he was absolutely gagging to get a piece of her. Yeah? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember, he took her knickers when she threw it off, and he was rounding it round his pen, and then he put it around his nose. Ooh! And he was like loving it. And I know there's a lot of men who could live with that and would be happy for a strong black woman who has that confidence. For me personally, ain't got a problem with it, because all I see is the facade. I see the face. If you come at me with that, I'm like, great. I'm great to see that. But I unpick the layers, and when I get inside the layers, then we see the real person. But what doesn't frighten me is I'm strong enough to be able to go, yeah, cool, come at me with all that. Because if I wasn't strong enough, I would be, some of the things that I've experienced in my life would tear me down and be like, nah, you couldn't take that. But I'm strong. And I believe a lot of men, more than most of my age, are strong in that similar way. There are some weak men. So simple as that. There are some weak men who that would be too much for them. But I think more than most of our age group, elder would be able to look at that and go, okay, let's bring it on. Let's see how it all develops, and let's go down, strip the layers away, and see what's behind that facade.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that comment. We've got a comment from Carl Perkins that says, that level of confidence is unattractive. I'd probably date her for a month maximum and then kick her to the curb. Oh dear.
The fact that he dated her for a month tells you all I need to know. Because, you know, if you didn't have the confidence to date her in the first place, that would be the problem. But if you're willing to take that risk for a month, then you know what? All credit is due, because there you've shown I'm ready, I'm strong enough to take on board a woman who has got that confidence about her.
Okay, thank you for that. Come back there, Tony. Tony, you're on fire tonight. I'm going to say that. Even Karen Eastman is saying, I'm liking Mr. Tony tonight. Is it a full moon? That's what Karen's saying tonight. Delroy Tulloch says, an older man might keep himself well. Hang on. An older man that keeps himself well will take her, but he might not want to take on the responsibility at the age they're looking to enjoy. At that age, they're looking to enjoy the last years together. Delroy, I want you to elaborate a little bit on that, because I think there's more to what you're saying. Theo, come in, my brother. What are your thoughts here?
I'm reading Bertram Spencer's. It's kind of summed up what I'm trying to say. He says, nothing wrong with being confident. However, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. As I said earlier, if that's how she's walking around talking about herself, yeah, it's unattractive. But if she's believing, there's a way of being confident without having to shout that I'm confident. You just are confident. You just carry yourself in a certain way, and you live your, you know, I don't have to shout. I don't have to say to you, I'm beautiful. Either you are or you're not. If you have to say to somebody you're beautiful, then there's a problem. If you have to say to somebody you're attractive, there's a problem. That means you're not attractive. You have to tell somebody you're attractive, because I should be able to see that. But her being confident is not a problem. It's just, as I said before, if that's how she talks at home, then yeah, that would be a bit off-putting. Look at me, I'm nice, I'm good, oh, whatever. I heard that yesterday. You know, and as Faye was alluding to, it's your character. If that's if you know, let's see beyond, as Tony was saying, let's see beyond the layers of your I'm attractive, I'm good looking, I'm that. What are you about? Okay, we've got past that now. I've seen that. What's this? Is there any substance to you? Do you have any substance? If you don't have any substance, then being attractive is just being attractive. It might just be a dolly or, you know, a picture. Because there's nothing more to you than I'm attractive. And maybe that's what the problem is. I don't know what the ex-boyfriend was talking about. But to older guys my age, yeah, we've heard that before. You can deal with that. It's not a problem. But then once we've gotten past that, then what? Then what?
Then what? I've got Faye, is your hand going up? I saw you shaking your head earlier, so I know you've got some things to say. Okay, so can we just bring Conan Lee's comment back up there?
Tisha's got her hand up, by the way.
Tisha's got her hand up, and I think Faye, did you have something? Because I saw some body language going on. Conan Lee saying, personally, I think it may be a defense mechanism on her part, i.e. insecure within and delusions of grandeur, possibly. Faye, did you want to come in, or should I bring Tisha in? Tisha,
Yeah, I'll come in. I'll come in. I slightly disagree with what Tony says, actually. I think the older, the guys that are my age are a lot less confident, and they are more insecure about themselves. I find I attract younger men, and I find that actually, the personality wise, I'm more on par with the younger guy than I am with people my own age, because they're not seeing the fun side. They're not, I don't know, they don't seem to engage in the fun that I want to be in. Like, I want to run around Thorpe Park and, you know, act out my child. And I find that older men are not down for that. But if I picked a younger guy, their confidence level is here, and their confidence level is more on par with my confidence level, so we're able to engage a lot better. How that pans out is, you know, we're at different stages of life, so it may not pan into a relationship because we are at different stages of life. But they have that confidence level that I have, and so I find that I'm, personality wise, I'm more gelling with the younger guy than I am men my own age. I think they just get stuck in their ways, and they don't want to experiment, and they don't want to. To me, yeah. So I disagree with Tony slightly on that.
Wow, you've had the wrong end of the stick,
Well,
dear.
Well, as I said, every experience.
Wow. You need a little black book, bro. I mean, like,
I don't need a black book, Tony. I need the right one. That's what I need. I need a book of them. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Tisha.
So listen, before you go any further, Yvonne, I'm sure there's a fella out there for Faye, because I don't really believe that these elder men who don't want to play games and all. Yeah, I think there's loads of them out there.
Well, should I? Because I try not to. I really try to hold back and not give them. But I really have to, because I have to agree with Faye. I do.
Wow.
I do. Men, the caliber of men that I come across are stuck in their past. They are living in the past. They have not moved on. They are maybe in their hurt. They may be in their pain. They are looking to it. Sometimes I feel like the men, I'm just going to be honest with you, sometimes I feel like the big grown men just want to sit down and suck on a woman's titty like a baby. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It may not come out as graceful as some may say, but I'm telling you the truth. That there are some older men, not all, but there are some older men who are very stuck in their ways. They do not want to exercise and have fun. Not exercise in, exercise, but be fun. They just want to stay at home. They don't want to do anything. And they just don't want to lay down and do nothing. And for some of us women who are in our 40s, 50s, and even 60s, we want to experience all that life has to offer, all of it, while we still have breath. But some men, not all, are ready to go in the box, and we're not. So I do agree, and this is what makes younger men much more attractive, because they're willing to do more, they're willing to experiment, they're willing to try. And so I'm just saying, and I'm going to come out of this and host the show as I do, and not give so much of my opinion. But I do believe it is about a mindset, and I do believe that our older men need a good shaking and say, come on, let the past go and move forward. Let the past go and move forward, because there are, you can't bring the old relationship into the new and expect it to work. And I sit down with many men and have many long discussions, and that is what is coming out. And it's unattractive to me. I'm just saying. Anyway, who wants to come in from there after the sucking of the titties? Yes, come on.
But can you hear me now, Yvonne?
Yes, I can. Yes.
this is exactly what I've said. I agree with Faye. This is what I said earlier. That's the difference. Like older men, especially if you feel young, you might act young. You want someone who's on par. So the older guys, so I can see where she's struggling. The older guys, as she said, just want to sit down and stuck in their own heads and their own way, where the younger ones might not be able to there might be more fun or want more adventure, but they might not be able to handle that or want that sort of relationship that we want. So I can understand where she's struggling. And I wanted to say about the comment when Phil said about her ex. Why was that relevant? It was like that, throwing that in kind of, I don't know. There was no need for that comment. That was rude.
I think he was saying that, Tisha, because I think he was alluding to the fact that beauty is only skin deep. And actually, whatever the ex had said about her probably was more negative than the positivity that she's showing. Do you get what I mean? So it's more about the whole person as opposed to just the facial features and her thinking she's beautiful. On the inside, she may not be that beautiful person. And so I think that's what he was alluding to.
Yeah, but that's what we think. There was no context to that. He just dropped that in, and maybe to embarrass her or whatever. It might be that what he said, but he didn't actually give any context. He just said that to like lower her confidence or whatever. There's no need for that. If you're going to bring someone or make a quote like that, bring him on. What was his problem? Why couldn't he? Yeah, if it was a negative comment, in what context was it? Maybe he could handle her confidence.
I think he said it because she said she couldn't find a man, and the guy saying if you're gonna approach her, she needs a warning sign, or I don't remember what he said, but she needs a warning sign because she was so confident, like she's she's perfect. I'm attractive, I'm good looking, I'm this, I'm like fun and all that. And he's saying, but your ex is saying, because remember, she's got 4 children, so she had exes. If she was so great and so confident, why have you got exes?
One ex.
There's a reason why you've got exes, isn't
But she's had.
So he's saying there's a reason. There's more to you than all what's sitting in front of us. I understand what he's saying. He's pulling her down, but there's two sides to everything.
What about his exes? Like he could have loads of exes.
Yeah, he could do, but it's not. But the show's not about him. It's about her coming on saying she can't find a man, and she's so hot and she's good looking. I'm great. I'm fantastic. Look at me. I want a man on my level and all this. And then your ex is saying approach with caution.
But you know what?
So him saying that to me now, if I was a single man and saying, oh, I might go to her, then he's saying approach with caution. I'm like, true. Because she sucks you in. Oh, I'm great. And you're like, okay, this girl looks hot. She's this. Approach with caution. Then he makes it go, yeah, for real. She's got 4 children. So she's got exes. I don't know how many different dads or whatever it may be. But there's obviously something not great. There's something about her that's not able to hold on to men if she's so fantastic.
But what we're forgetting, and I just want to bring this up, I think Karen Eastman just put that on. What we're forgetting is he is an ex. And so depending on how that last relationship ended will determine how he feels.
That's right.
So I have an ex and he will probably say, I
understand that.
Because it ended great, we're great friends, but there might be another ex that I just run him and he'd be like, oh, she's full of herself, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Different. So
I'm just putting it into context of why you threw it out there, because there's gonna be something about you that's not so great, or something that someone's gonna have. So that's all it is.
If you're gonna do that, bring on someone else that had an amazing relationship with her, or had a child with her. So yeah, you can't just bring on a negative one and then not bring on someone who had a child with her. So it's not that bad. That's not balanced. It's not fair.
Yeah. He did. The way in which he said it was to kind of bring her down a peg or two. I do believe that.
Yeah, of course it was. Of course it was.
I will say, and then I'm going to bring Tony because he's got his finger up. I am going to say this. We all know that Phil's exes are very happy with him, don't we? Now we can move on. Brother Tony, what would you like to say? Oh no, where's your volume?
I can't comment about Phil's exes because I know absolutely nothing about the man. So me don't do regular TV and all them things. So I don't know who he is, what his exes are, if he's married or whatever. So can't comment on that. But this conversation is moving so quickly that every time I have a response and I don't say something, we move on to something else. So a comment in my private watch party says, most older men I know between 50 and 60 keep in good shape and are ready for everything. And that comes to a point that I wanted to make, because as a 50-something-year-old, 52, I keep in great shape, and I'm fun, and I travel, and I do all manner of things. I've got a child who I keep entertained by playing football and boxing, and you see me, and I'm like, the way Faye's talking about, and you, Yvonne, are talking about these elder men, it kind of makes me feel like I'm a unicorn. And then I saw somebody else's comment come in and say, well, I'm good for my age and I play. I think it was Delroy Tulloch who said he's good and he can go. And then I read someone else's comment said, yeah, I'm good to go. And I'm like, well, you know, really?
Where are they?
So this is my point. This is my point. This is my point. I mean, where are you going to get these men? Because I don't know. That maybe there's some kind of disconnect between the active elder black man and these women who are looking for that lively, vibrant guy. Because you remember the guy last week that we cut down so much? Yeah, the 54-year-old who was running his own business and blah blah blah, and he's this and he's that, and we were cussing him. I bet he's probably one of them kind of guys that you go, well, actually, he's one of them unicorns like Tony Cox, because Tony Cox is vibrant and he goes around the world playing games, and he runs 10 kilometers every other week, and you know, he rides his bike every other day, and he likes sex in all the position, and he uses elbow and everything to have sex.
Oh,
and
the elbows
he's happy to play with the vibrator with the woman, and why? Yeah, you remember it now. Yeah, so
I never
feel like I'm some kind of unicorn, but I'm pretty certain there's more men like that. And someone was saying, like, mate, you know, I don't know, you know, maybe I'm in a place where you guys aren't looking. Are we cloaked?
What I'm saying, I'm going to ask you a question. So, why are you single?
You said I'm single. Why am I single?
Fair enough, though. That's fair enough. If you're not single,
I mean, you know.
And just to say, you know, it is more than just how a person looks. It is about their personality. And whilst it's easy to say, I'm there, I'm ready, I'm this, I'm that, actually, I you know, sometimes we have a false sense of perception of our own selves, and we think we're something that we're not.
Sorry, Carl, I gave too much information. Sorry, brother.
Oh, that's the elbow. It must be the elbow, isn't it? The elbow. Listen, Carl, we fully know about this elbow. We've been hearing about this elbow a long time now. So
don't forget the fruit and veg, yeah.
And the fruit and veg, yeah, the cucumber. Yes, that's so. Again, I mean, I don't think. My thing is, right, so we've got some people that say, yes, I'm here. But again, you're not coming forward. So if you're not coming forward, right, and George Williams, again, he says he's internet single. What does that mean? George, you're
friend
here.
with benefits.
What does it mean? Tell us what it means. Internet single. We've been trying to figure this out for weeks.
Him have a friend.
Right? Okay. Lorraine, Lolly Bailey said, I think older guys are looking for young women. They don't want 40-somethings. It's too old. But also, she did say something else in a comment that she was looking
I'm
for
50-something. I won't go with anyone younger than 40. I won't go. In fact, I've raised my bar. I won't even go out with someone younger than 42 now. Because I think 10 years prior too young.
I agree. I'm with you on that scale, Tony. What do you have in common? You know, I might as well go out with my boys if I'm going to go out with somebody, you know, younger. That makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And that makes no sense to me then. Right. So Deborah Harris says older men need younger souls. Older men need younger souls. They want to watch movies or sport. Men don't express enough. Some men can be set in their stubborn ways and don't want to make the effort to keep the woman interested. My daughter is 23 and very attractive. She often finds that the light-skinned girls are always picked at her agency with sexual appeal, with the sexual appeal look. Us black women don't get respected enough by other black brothers. Sometimes the older men want younger ladies and forget about their responsibilities. Who wants to come in?
Yeah, this is a lovely one. This is a huge one. Can you put it back up there, Theo? Put that back up there. So that's a lot of things to dissect.
There's a lot of things to unpick.
There's a lot of things to dissect in there, but
keep that comment up. Thank you. Yeah.
The first bit is, yes, men do like to watch movies and sport. I'm about that life. Yeah. Men don't express enough. Young men probably don't express enough. Older men normally are very good at expressing themselves. But this is also something that we as a people, black people, are trying to get out of this narrative that we're not expressing ourselves enough, because we as a people have been downtrodden to keep our expressions to ourselves. Yeah. So this is an interesting point, because earlier in the week there was a clip going around about men expressing themselves, because we're told as a young kid from about 4 or 5 years old, man up, be a man, don't cry. Yeah. And what happens is you turn that child into an expressless adult. Yeah. Because we're told, we're beaten into being strong and not letting weak parts of our nature come out. So that's a huge point. I think that on its own is a program on its own about expression. The 23-year-old attractive daughter losing work to light-skinned girls. That's an interesting point, because we actively now see more black models than we have ever seen. So yes, I understand that, because historically we never even used to see black models. Iman, Grace Jones, and
Naomi Campbell.
That was it. Tyra Banks.
Vanessa Williams as well.
And Vanessa wasn't even up there, but that was it.
Well,
them 5. And now we've got a plethora. And you know, when we talk about this, image is important, and the diversity in the modeling industry, we've now got an overload. We're actually getting point. But this is a point I made in my men's group last week, was it's very good that if you pick up today's Elle magazine, it's got 2 black women kissing each other. Yeah, it's a lesbian black affair. It's on the front cover, and you might go, "Oh, that's beautiful. Black trans women matter." And we've got this huge diversity being shown on the cover of a huge international best-selling magazine. But pick up the magazine and then look through the rest of the 100 pages and tell me how many black faces you're going to see, because you will see it on the front cover. Are plenty now, because when I go in the shop, I'm actively looking to see how many magazines I got a black person on the front, and I'm seeing loads. But we are still the minority, because when you look in the rest of the magazine, you're gonna see we don't cover 50% of the magazine. We don't cover 20%. We might get 10% on a good day.
And that's because we are the minority. But how do we? And I mean, this is probably a topic for another day. how do we change that narrative? And in terms of what the statement was, her darker skinned daughter is kind of getting outbidded basically by lighter skinned black girls. So how do we change that narrative? What can we bring about to change that and to maybe show that, you know, darker skin is
do for self? The answer is do for self. Create our own black magazines and put our own people on it. Cocoa Girl, Cocoa Boy, that's where you're going to see black people. Yeah? Pick up a black magazine and you will see black people. Stop buying Elle. Stop buying Vogue. Yeah? And let's create our own. I appreciate those who make that transition into the white establishment. You know, your John Boyegas and your Stormzy's, etc. But we still have to do for ourselves. So it's a case of, yes, we must continue to strive to integrate, yeah, but we must also build for ourselves, because we all know, I hope we all know, that the black pound doesn't last very long in the black community. It's the worst, 6 hours compared to the 23 days of the Jewish.
Tisha, come in. Thanks.
I was watching something on Red Table. Yes, I think it was yesterday actually, and they were doing a discussion on colorism, and there was a lady with a daughter who were on a darker skin tone, and what one of the daughter was saying is actually not white people that she felt bullied by. It was actually the black community. That's where she faced the most prejudice about her colour. It was that her own black people, not her white counterparts. There was no, they didn't. There was no light skin or preference for that, or preference for or non-preference for darker. It was among her own community. So, yeah, that's another take on it.
Carl Perkins says, "Stop calling mixed race women light skin black women. They are not black."
That's not true.
That's true.
That's so not true. I've got cousins who are light skinned, who have got 2 black parents just like me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same like mine.
As I said to you before,
that's a disrespect. That's a disrespect.
Yeah.
And they will see the blackness first. Us black people or white people, they will see the colour first. So you will always be black. If you're mixed race or not, you're black first.
It's true. I second that. So going back to the lady, because we're going off the topic a little bit as always, but going back to the lady who is light-skinned, one of the things that I do want to bring up though is her naturalness, her natural look, because when I think back to the comments of last week, and the man, and he was like, "What size are you?" Da 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 da. He mentioned her hair because she had a weave on. This lady had 2 K-rows, very natural, not much makeup. So she was showing herself in her natural state. And I think it makes a difference. I think it makes a difference to how we perceive as well. Because we have been conditioned over the years and it's only now, as especially black females, only now in later years that we are embracing the queenship, the queenhood that we are, the naturalness, the locksing of the hair, you know, we're not doing the relaxing, we're not doing the weaves as much, and all of these kinds of things. And I wondered if that was why there was such a smirk from Phil, because in the TV world, this whole look is not deemed to be as attractive as the straight, Caucasian looking black person or black woman.
Can I just jump in there?
Yeah.
Can I jump in there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. She is naturally a beautiful woman, okay, because like I said, she's got a natural hair in the cane row. She didn't
Not my.
really have any makeup. She was beautiful, and you know, yeah, in the TV world, they're very much on weaves and wigs, and you know, putting on a bit of lipstick and that and so forth, so you can look, you know, good for the set. You see it all the time. You know, there's some of the ladies who are on like TV now, and they're like, they're either got like their hair in some kind of weave or a wigs on. You know, one or two will have their hair out as normal, have their own hair, but yeah, it's still quite a regular thing for them to have anything other than their natural hair. I embrace my natural hair, y'all. I denounced the comb many moons ago, and it was the best thing I'd done. Yeah, if anything, it made me feel more liberated as a black woman. It made me feel more in tune with myself, and I embrace nature. Yeah, so yeah, I just think when you compare it to the lady on the video last week, Lord of his mercies, I hear what my man was saying. Kevin Samuels had a point when he was asking the question about, obviously, when she takes away the hair, the, you know, the weave, the makeup, the eyelashes and all that jazz, what she's going to look like underneath that. You could clearly see with this lady, because I believe her name was Dawn Cousins, you could clearly see with her that it was just her natural beauty that was there. Do you know what? Yes, she's confident, and I love that, but she's just a little bit too confident for me. That is a little bit strangling, and not all man's going to appreciate that. Yes, she even said about, you know, she was saying something about her, because I think, was it Phil that asked her, was it Holly asked her about something about her, if her daughter's sons or something, daughter's friend, sorry, yeah, went for her, yeah, and you know, she kind of like, yeah, she shut them out at that point. There's certain at that point she should have kept her mouth closed. I wouldn't have said nothing on that. You know, that is not attractive for a man to hear. Yeah, you know, my daughter's friends was homing in on me. Keep your mouth closed. There's certain things you don't say.
Her kids are going to be like, what the hell? So, yeah. I'd like to know, like,
yeah.
Mortified. They'll be like, which one of you said it?
Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, you know, she was, yeah, typical 44-year-old woman with 4 children. I've got 4 children, and I think I look all right. I think I look good. But I'm not going to go around.
Right.
You look goody.
Christine Douglas says, I'm so sick of, can we put that comment back up, please? I'm so sick of black people going on about light skin and darker skin. Growing up as a child, can we put it back up, please? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh. Somebody playing with us.
Okay, so whoever sees it first, say it, please. All right, growing up as a child with darker skinned sisters, I got made fun of. So basically, we've got the idea that Christine Douglas is saying she's sick of this. And it is something, and I think it's something that really does need to be discussed. And I think it deserves a right to have its own show, because it keeps coming up. 95% of some women's beauty can be removed with a wet towel. Thanks.
True that.
But again, that is the testament of men. Men will say this, and they're right in some cases, because some of us don't.
We're different. I never feel the same as them. I could never feel the same as them.
Right. And so this has had an impact within our own. This is within our own community. This is not anything external. This is our community. Yeah. And so, but we have to remember where that comes from. That's coming from the house slave and the field slave. Yeah, that's where that mentality is coming, and it's gone down into generation, and it has become about our skin, our complexion, and that's where it's come from. And I think it's something that we do need to address. We do need to deal with. And like Tony mentioned in the beginning of the show, there are many African countries, and even in this country, I've seen it, where a lot of people are bleaching their skin to be lighter. I don't understand it, but I think it does warrant its own show. So going back to this lady being confident, because look, Lolly's saying she's sick of it too. Yeah, she's saying she's sick of it too. Come, Tisha, say what you want to say.
One of the ladies, there was a comment earlier about what would you do if this was your friend, and I thought that was a really interesting take. Like if you went out with her, like on a party, going out, and your friend was carrying on, like they used to call it stush, didn't they? Like to stush or whatever. Like, yeah, how would you deal with that? Yeah, if a man came to talk to her or whatever. I know, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear. Or if if one of your friends, Tony, was acting like that, or a woman you was approaching, or yeah, go on, Tony, yeah, go for it.
So I personally think, growing up, you associate yourself as a human being with lots of people, and you're going to have an experience of different people from different backgrounds, different colors of skin, different sex, different orientation or sexuality, and you become accustomed to understanding what people are like. People are people. Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't have a problem if one of my friends is stush. If I've got black friends who will only go out with white girls, and I've got black friends who will only go out with black girls, and I've got black friends who will go out with both. Do I treat those three different type of men in a different way? No. You choose what you want to choose. I'm not going to see you as any less because you choose to go one way or another. If you want to go with another man, that's your business. I'm not going to treat you differently because you are that way. Unfortunately, society doesn't work like that. And we know racism exists. We know sexism exists. We know there are phobias against gay people and trans people and all these other phobias. Yeah? But ultimately, in this day and age, 2020, we're still talking about Black Lives Matters. And people are still saying all lives matter. See what we're talking about? So I don't look at people and make a decision based on the hue of your skin. Yeah. I don't make decisions based on whether you're confident or you're very quiet, an introvert. I am me. You take me as I am. You like me or you don't like me. And I have friends who, you know, some are one way and some are another way. And I just take them and I go, you know what? I juggle myself to deal with the friend appropriately. You know, because some friends, when I talk with them in a different style, you understand? Yeah? Whereas there are others who I have to speak with a particular vernacular. Because I am that way inclined. When I'm dealing with my customers, I have to be very, you know, eloquent. So you see what I said? Deal with your friends appropriately. That's all it boils down to.
Theo, what's your thoughts?
Well, and Tisha was asking about if a guy met a girl like that in a club, and she was acting stush, and she wasn't giving you no play, we leave her on the side. Just leave her on the side. Okay, you think you're too nice. All right, cool. I'll go for their friend. That's why you see a lot of so-called pretty women single in the clubs. You'll see them in there. They say, how come she ain't got no man? How come there's no one there approaching her? Because she thinks she's too nice. So she gets left on the shelf. We'll go with your friend who's not so up themselves, push and think that they're all that. See you later. Bye.
Okay.
And that's what happens to them. We just say bye. We got no time for it. We come out for have a nice time and you think you're too nice. You look the man up and down and, oh, I don't like his shirt, or I didn't look at his shoes. Look, you're talking to me. Who do you think you are? Okay, bye. See you later. Just keep it moving. And as they say in the world, it's 7-1. So in the club, when you go out to a club, more time there's more women in the club. So, okay, you don't want to talk to me. There's going to be another 5 or 6 that will. So see you later. I've had women turn me down and then come back later on in the night when all the sharks are trying to pull on them. Oh, do you want that dance now? Nah,
yeah. We all been
I'm
there,
alright.
brother.
All right.
We all been there.
I'm busy now.
You turn round
I'm
now.
busy now. So that's what happens to them. They get left.
No. Mm.
They get left. That's what happens to them. That's mostly why she's still single at 44, because she thinks she's all that. So when a guy's approaching her, oh, he's not on my level, he doesn't look good, or okay, you keep your levels, man. This kind of goes back to some of the other shows we were talking about, you know, the levels and the ranking and women having their tick box and looking at a man and the first appearance, his shoes was a bit dusty or whatever it may be, without even getting to know the man. Same thing. So the man meets that woman. She might be a beautiful woman, but because she's acting like she's stush and don't want to talk, see you later. Bye-bye. Next.
I think we all have lists. I don't think you can get away from it. I think we all do, men and women. Because even with last week, you know, he was like, "What's your what's your, you know, what you like without the hair? How tall are you? What's your dress size? All these kind of things. You know, we have a preference. I think we all.
Yeah, of course. But it's your attitude that goes along with it. Not the appearance is one, but if your attitude is like that, I'm stush and I'm all that, then you're gonna get left with your stush and all that stuff.
There has to be a meaning of stush, because I think I'm very stush. I'm just saying.
But to your friends, Yvonne, they're not gonna treat you
No.
any differently.
Okay.
The point to me is that your friends don't treat you different because you're stush to men. You're their friend. We back you whether you're stush or not, because you are our friend. When you're in amongst your friends, your peers, you're not stush to them. You're just Yvonne. Yeah. But you have every right. Yeah. No, you're laughing, but it's the truth. If a white man walks up to you in a club, you have every right to turn around and say, "Sorry, my brother, I don't date white boys, because my preference is the dark chocolate, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice." You're entitled to say that because that's your preference. Yeah, so the white man is going to say, "Well, she's stush," but the black man who's there is waiting in the corner, dark and lovely. Yeah. See that one there, sir? Yeah. And you're going to go to him. So you might not be stush to one, but you're not going to be stush to another.
Yeah, I like to see people's expressions on their faces, and this is really, really good for me to watch how you respond to what I say. And my job is to throw things out there to see how it lands. And that landed quite well, to be honest. Your faces were like, what did she just say? Did she really just say that?
No, there's nothing wrong with being stush.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
There is nothing.
You got your levels. You got your levels.
Bless you, George.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Bonnie, you're very. Bring back George's because George is my friend. I still want to know what internet single means, though. Can you bring back George's comment for me, please? George says, "Bonnie, you're allowed to be stush. You're very, very nice."
Noise.
Oh, she's up there, John.
Is that noise?
Noise.
George,
That's a mouth push-up comment, Yvonne.
We're having some fun.
So you know, at the moment, not at the moment, it's probably been going on for ages. You've got those Instagram girls, right? So they're there. You must have seen it when you're scrolling. They're there with their makeup and they're just going like that, and all. You guys seen it?
Yeah.
What is that? If that is not loving,
it's a young people thing. It's a young people thing. Older people don't do it.
Are we not allowed to do it? I commented on this before. So when young girls are loving on themselves and they are getting, I don't know, getting loads of likes and getting loads of companies sponsor them to do different things, whatever, and all they're doing is putting on their makeup, like posing in underwear or whatever they're doing, loving on themselves. That is confident. So if an older woman does it, that's too much. That's not
trying too hard.
That's
trying too hard.
But it's still confidence, though. It's the same thing.
Yeah. No,
I don't know that it is confidence, Tisha. Yeah. I don't think that it is confidence at all. I think underneath that, I think it's just a facade. A lot of that. internet stuff, because I think that,
yeah,
I think a lot of that is just trying to put themselves out there for whatever reason. But I don't think that's a confidence thing. I think there's a lot of insecurity behind a lot of those girls that do that, and it's just to put themselves out there, maybe get a few likes because their friends got more likes or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they've got to have some confidence to do that. Literally, just doing their makeup and posing. That's all they do on these accounts. But I don't know. That must have, you must have a bit of confidence to be able to do that. So
But
yeah,
I thought they're more insecure underneath that. I think if you strip back those layers with those particular women, I think there's a lot of insecurity going on, and that is just their way of not showing that.
Oh yeah, someone mentioned a fan only. I know I've heard of it, but I've never actually been on it. What is
fans only?
They're naked, and they're naked. They're showing their body parts on Friends.
Yeah, basically, fans only is a men is
it's for men.
Women are getting on there, amateur porn, basically.
Yeah, they're porn.
Yeah.
Linda Woodcock says insecure women on Instagram.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that.
Most of those women, Tisha, if you met them in person, they won't have much to say because all they've got is what they say. Because if you look at the pictures, there's not much comments on it. It's just them posing. There's no actual comment to go with it. It's just them, putting on makeup. Why are you putting on the makeup?
I would like to see who really is liking the because some of them it is just like posing and there's not much dialogue or anything, and then they get hundreds of thousands of likes. So I'd like to know what ages that those people do. I mean, we are talking to older people. We are talking to more mature people. We are people who are, I would say, 40 plus. We do have followers who are in their late 30s, but we are a maturer crowd trying to find answers into certain situations. And I think that this woman, bringing it back to the lady, 45 years old, has come to a place in her life where she seems to be happy with herself. And I, for one, would say, and I'm not saying that she shouldn't have done it. I salute her for doing it, but I think because back in the day, there's no way that any black person back in the day would go on national TV sporting 2 K-Bros. It wouldn't be done. She made a statement. I looked at this woman, I listened to her, I laughed and I listened, but when I looked at her, she was making a statement. She wasn't well done up. She was very ordinary looking. I'm not saying that she wasn't attractive, but she wasn't overly made up. Her hair wasn't overly neat. It wasn't like she had all these fancy way of cane row in the hair or anything like that. It was just 2 basic cane rows. And to me, she was making a statement. I am beautiful. And because of this beauty, I'm finding it difficult to find a man that will accept me in my natural, beautiful, gorgeous state. That's how I read it. And so, from that premise, I want to know how many of the women here would go on national TV with just a cane row, a bit of lipstick, and be brave enough to say, I am beautiful. I just want to know how many of the women here.
I think I would. Yeah,
I would.
I would.
I think maybe that's because we're older. I don't know. Maybe we're in that age group, so we've done the life. We've done everything that is expected of us. Had children, got career, whatever. So we do have that level of confidence to be able to do that now.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't really wear that much makeup. I do like a bit of eyebrows and a bit of mascara. Lippy, I used to wear sometimes, occasionally, very, very rare because I just can't be bothered. I just take my lip balm and that's it. But so I'm happy with me. I'm happy in my own skin. But it took a while to get there, though. Do you get what I mean? So now I would happily go on. I'd go on like this, like literally. Sometimes I go out. and my kids are like, "Mum, really, you're gonna go with that on your head?" Like, I just go and chuck on my.
Oh, you
head.
mean like
I
what I got,
literally- I don't
like
listen,
what I
'cause
got on my head
what
as
you
well,
see is what you
Barbara?
get, and
Like
if
what I
you
got on
don't
my
like,
head.
it's your problem.
I bet you get. I bet you get more attraction from men when you go out like that than when you're all dolled up, isn't it?
Do you know what? I literally get, because I think for me, I feel I get attraction from guys just when I'm not even really looking for it anyway, because I'm just so relaxed. I'm just being me, and that's it. And yeah, you're right. I do get attention that way. You know, I'm not trying to falsify anything. There's no catfish going on, because what you see is what you literally get. There's no layers to take
And
off.
do you know why
nothing
guys like
and
that?
I'm literally
Because
just me. And
that's how we're going to see you 95% of the time. So that's what we're looking for, isn't it? So if I'm going to see you 95% of the time like that, the time when you're dressed up and you're out, that's not I'm not going to see. I'm going to see you with the head off on your head. I'm going to see you in your baggy jogging bottoms or whatever it may be. So when you're out on road feeling all like, oh, I'm not really all that, that's the time the guy's going to look at it and say, yeah, she looks fine, because that's how we're going to see you. So if my girl looks fine like that,
exactly.
Imagine when she is dressed up. So that's when a woman most of the time gets attraction, not when she's all dressed up. More time
I
you need
find I don't get attraction. I don't get attraction from black men. I get it from white men, actually. There are more white men attracted to me. I mean, I've been on dating websites, and there are more white men.
You're in the wrong country, that's why.
Well,
you live in countryside. What do you expect?
I don't know that I'm in the wrong country, but you know, you don't
live in the countryside, man. You don't live in the bush and the cows and all them things. There's only about 10 black men in. There's only about 10 black men in Luton, isn't it? There's only about 10 black men in Luton.
An airport.
Yeah. Can I just say, Faye, you need to up your sticks, bro, because you need to move to.
Look, Tony, what do you mean by that?
There's about 10 black men in Luton.
I live in Luton.
Okay.
There's lots of black people in Luton.
There's about 10 black men in Luton. All the other black men are married.
No, I'm not.
Guys.
They're all married, all the others, man.
At a time. Only one person can talk at a time. Otherwise, it gets messy. So, Faye, Theo, you've made some statements. Faye, you want to come in? But I heard country, and there's only 10 black men in Luton.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. You're actually wrong.
I said, are they single or they married?
Luton is very multicultural, I'll have you know. But it's
black men single or married?
I don't know. Well, I don't know all of them, do I?
I know quite a few black men in Luton. And most of them are partners and married. Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are single.
Okay, I haven't met those ones. I know quite a few in Luton.
But I also do internet dating. Okay, I also go on the internet, and I've been on the websites, and actually, I don't get a lot of hits from black men. I get a lot of hits from white men. I get more hits from white men than I do from black men, and that's saying something. But I did read a statistic yesterday that 48% of black men don't date black women. They date outside.
Yeah.
So we're not the ones that are chosen. Dark or light, we're not the ones that are chosen. 48% of black men date outside of their rest, and I read that statistic yesterday. That is very worrying. So for me, looking for a black man, I'm struggling. And if we added the other statistic that there are 7 women to every man, I'm likely not even to get one.
And then,
so you're in the wrong place, Faye. You're in the
I'm not in the wrong place, Tony. Stop telling me I'm in the wrong place.
Hey, girls, and the other statistic.
What's up, Kels?
What's up? You guys good?
Hi, Kels.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yvonne, we can't hear you, Yvonne.
Huh?
Yvonne, your mic's low. I can't really.
What? Did it just go low?
No, it's been low.
It's been low for a little while.
By yourself, it's been okay, but when you're talking, everybody else get drowned out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Kels. Faye, you need to go on internet dating in like Africa or the Caribbean or something, man. You'll get guys like that, man. You'd be like, wow.
Yeah, but I don't want to
go in African internet dating sites.
I don't want to do a long distance relationship, Theo.
Faye,
I don't want
Faye.
I want one that's near me.
Faye.
Well, you got a small ballpark to play with.
Faye. all I'm gonna say, Faye. The natural hair. You want to come bring that back, baby girl. It's all right when it's straight, but you know what?
Okay.
It's about the natural curl.
Patrick Solomon says, Faye, you look good. That's what Patrick says.
Mr. P always give people compliments.
Thank you.
Most black men want a queen as long as she look like Del Williams says most black men want a queen as long as she looks and acts like the master's wife. That's what he said.
That's to do with submission, isn't it? Which is a different subject.
Kels, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Do you know where we are in this discussion?
Yes, I've been listening. Listening.
And did you come on because you want to say something?
Definitely.
As you come on, I'm going to open the floor, give you the floor. Say what you've got to say, brother.
Oh, dear. Bless God.
I did see that lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm not attracted to her. I don't think I would even want to buy her a cup of tea. Yeah.
Okay.
Or even orange juice. I think like that woman that we listened to last week with regards to Kevin Samuels, they need to get themselves in a network of people like herself that are professional. They are in some kind of club. They can all meet together. They can talk and mingle, and they can just do what they got to do, because all they're doing is making themselves look stupid and then trying to make us men look silly, and we are not. You know, I think it's very embarrassing for her to go on TV like that. She don't even look all that hot as far as I'm concerned. I didn't think she was hot at all, to be honest with you. You know, I think it's more simple than we think it is. Yeah, don't go on TV and make out as though you're the best thing since sliced bread and there's no men out there for you. They are out there, but they're not going to want you. But if you do want to kind of be some kind of catch, just find yourself in a network where you can just associate yourself with some professional people or people that want to just socialize and they're earning what you're earning. Yeah, they are out there, you know, or even create a group. You know what I mean? If it's Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and then just start meeting and take it from there, because it just makes terrible TV, and especially with our people, you know, we can't even at times just work together very well, you know, and other racial groups are seeing that, and then for her to come on like that and make herself look silly and also trying to make me as a man look silly, I didn't appreciate it at all. I thought it was pathetic. That was my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Delroy Tulloch agrees with you. They need to be more humble. Says, yes, Kels, I totally agree with you. So Delroy Tulloch agrees with you on that. Does anybody else on the panel agree with Kels on that point?
I didn't hear everything you said, Kels, but the last bit you said was humble, yeah?
Well, I didn't say humble, but I would agree that woman needs to be more humble. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I agree with that. I do agree with that. It's good to be confident, but I don't think it's good to be overconfident like that.
Why?
It's just not attractive. It's just not attractive, miss. Listen, brother T, it's not attractive.
So
if I was a man, okay, all right. From a female perspective, then, for me, you know, it's all good that a female is confident,
Michelle.
but when she's there going on with herself about, you know, I'm this and I'm that. And what was it she said? She can't even speak properly anyway about I'm very fun. Who says that in a sentence? Come on now. I'm very fun. That's what she said, isn't it? I'll write it down.
I understand that.
I'm a very attractive woman. I look very young. I'm very fun. Well,
I understand
that's excellent.
That's just plain English to me.
Yeah, I'm very fun.
That's plain English.
Very fun. So that's all good. But then she went into it. But then, like I said, when she was saying about, you know, the fact that, you know, younger guys message her because they want to take her out because she's hot. How she know they want to take her out because she's hot? Man might have a different perspective of what she is. they might
She's
think,
hot.
oh,
Leave
No,
her
but no one
alone.
would
She's
say
hot.
that. They would probably
I'm just
say that.
saying.
And
I'm just saying it's good to be confident, but it's not attractive to be overconfident like that. 'Cause man ain't interested. Man
That's
ain't
the
gonna walk
some
to
men.
that.
That's the some men. Some men can't handle the overconfident woman. Like
You
some
would,
men can't handle black women.
you would enjoy
Sheila.
that, innit,
Well, she's
Tony?
single, so
Brother
there's a lot
Tony.
of men that can't handle her. She's
There's a lot
single,
of
so
men
there might
can't
be a
handle
lot
black
of men that
women.
can't handle her.
Seriously.
So I'm
Mhm.
sorry,
You
you
know,
can't say some men.
hang on,
There are a
hang on,
lot of men because she's single,
Yeah.
hang on.
She's
You
gonna
just
stay
mentioned a
single.
point.
and she
48%
will
of
stay
black men
single.
don't
And
go
she
out
will
with black
stay
women.
single.
Wow.
Yeah,
She'll
she
stay
will.
single.
She will stay. Sorry, it's not. It's it's too confident. Sorry.
Okay, so she's too confident. But you just mentioned, Faye, a point. 48% of black men don't go out with black women. Tell you why. Ask yourself why that statistic exists.
Because of women like that.
No.
Yeah, she bring it. She bring the play down, man. She bring the play down.
You know what?
So you think all
We're
black
coming
women
to
are
the last
too
10
confident?
minutes. We're coming to the last 10 minutes of the show. Oh, Alan, even though I just got the notification and joined 10 minutes ago. All right, Alan, tell us what you think so far of what you've heard. We're coming into the last 10 minutes of the show, and I do want to get everybody's kind of point of view before I say what I have to say on this one. But who wants to go first? Because we are coming, we've got 10 minutes. All right, so I'm going to go to Barbara first, then Tisha, and then we'll take it from there. So Barbara, what are your thoughts? What were your takeaways from here? Because I know I've had to cut, because I know that guys have got a lot to say.
So it's been really interesting, everyone's points of views, to be honest, because they're in agreement in some places and then quite contrasting in others, and it just kind of makes you think. But for me, I haven't changed my opinion of what I thought about the clip. I agree that she needs to be a little bit more humble. I do agree with that, because I have a lot of guy friends, and they wouldn't like that. That would literally be a turn off, because they would just see it as, it's not even about they don't see it as confidence. They just think like, oh, you just think you're too nice. And these are not young men. I'm talking about 45 upwards into their 50s. Those are my friends. I don't have younger friends. So yes, my opinion hasn't changed. I agree that a woman should be confident in herself. I really like that, because for me, I'm a mother of 4 girls, and I always encourage them to be confident about themselves, to love themselves, and love themselves first before even looking for any attention anywhere else. Do you know what I mean? So I love the confidence. And even when you pointed out about the hair and things like that, certain things that I didn't clock, to be fair, and I thought actually that is really true, and I like that as well, the fact that she came in there with just the 2 cane rows, because for real, how often do you see that on national TV anyway? Do you know what I mean? And just embracing that natural beauty. And I think it kind of reiterated for me that I made the right decision within myself when I went natural, because I used to have relaxer back in the day, and the comments that drove me to relax my hair came from my people, saying about, I had really, really thick hair, very, very thick hair. And let's just say people didn't really want to deal with my hair. Like, family members, I'm putting it out there, didn't want to do my hair. It was too tough, blah, blah, blah. So it was a growing process. Do you get what I mean? So I think it kind of, it depends on where you are as a person within yourself. It's amazing, love yourself, but I still think you just have to just remain just a little bit humble. If you're trying to attract certain men, you have to be aware that your confidence, while it's really good, that could be the reason why you're single. I'm not saying, if she doesn't want to change, that's obviously that's her decision, but she just needs to be mindful, just be aware that maybe this is why I'm not getting the man, and that's it. But yeah, enjoy being back, guys.
Love that comment from Karen. Love that
Lovely,
comment from
lovely,
Karen.
lovely. Thank you so much, Barbara.
No problem.
I'm going to bring in Tisha now.
Yes, Karen.
Yeah, and I'm actually in agreement with Karen. Actually, anyway. So go on, T.
Yeah, I love what Karen said. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. You know what? To go on national TV with that much confidence, you have to have done some work on yourself. I mean, she's not delusional. We can't say she's delusional. Like, you know, you've got some parents what tell you mad stuff, you know, on TV shows that you can sing when you can't. She's an attractive woman, and she must have done some work. So I applaud her for going on and saying she's beautiful. She is. And you are what you put out there. So, yeah. But if she's going after a man, does she need to dumb herself down to get a man?
No.
No, I don't think so. As Tony said, you will attract the right person. I love an like a confident man. I look for the man what's gonna go out there like be the person on the dance floor and have fun and be out there.
I mean that.
I love that. I love that because you don't give it.
Have you exchanged numbers yet? Anyway, carry on.
You just don't care. That's really good. And like attracts like. So she needs a confident man. So let the confident man come in and approach her in the right way, and you never know. So I think good on her. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your input there, Tisha. Okay, so who else? Right, so Kels, do you want to put yours in? I'll let Kels because Kels came in a bit later, so I'll leave you guys for Kels. What's your, you've been watching? So what's your takeaway from here?
You can see me, yeah?
Yeah. See you.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, this mic. It's okay, cool, because my computer is just acting a bit silly here. As long as you can see me, right? Yeah. My take on, as I said before, this woman here, I feel I said I don't feel attracted to this woman at all. Yeah. I think
she's too much for you, Kels.
I feel embarrassed. No, I just think she's just she needs to work on herself.
She clearly has. She clearly has.
Financially, yeah, but I'm not drawn to her, so there's something wrong. There's something wrong if I'm not drawn to a lady.
Well, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so that's a bit of a broad statement.
Sorry?
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so it's a bit.
No. I'm not even talking about beauty. I'm just talking about her as a person. I just wasn't drawn to her character. I thought it was. Yes, humanity does come into it, but there was just something about this woman. Like, I want to feel as though I can sit down and I can talk to somebody, and it's going in a positive way. It's building. It's something where I can see consciousness. I can see something that, I can gain something. I didn't really feel that with her. I'm not talking about beauty. I'm just talking about beauty within. That's what I'm actually talking about. I didn't really see that, and for me, that's a problem. I'm not just about appearance, Tony. I'm not just about appearance.
Okay. Can I just say something here, Yvonne, very quickly? Have you heard of a thing called positive affirmation?
No. You'll come in a minute. Otherwise, we'll be going over. Okay, so Sheena, give us your takeaway.
Yeah. Basically, like I said before, she oozes with confidence. Yes, she has got confidence. It's good to have confidence, but whilst it's good to have confidence, it's also good to just be a little bit humble with your confidence. I'm just choosing my words carefully here, right? So it's, because in my experience, because like you, Barbara, I have a lot of men friends, and you talk to your men friend, right? And they will always say, if a woman like that is too much in your face, they're not interested. That's too much for some men. So yeah, but all good, all good for her that she's confident, but just low key, just a little piece. That's all. But 10 out of 10 for the natural. 10 out of 10 for being natural with it. 10 out of 10 for being natural with it.
Thank you, Gina. Do you want to go next, Tony?
Yeah, can I? Because what I'm hearing sounds like
we're getting feedback from you.
Yeah, somebody turned their mic off. What I'm hearing sounds a lot like What's the film with Whoopi Goldberg?
Sister Act.
The Color Purple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Whoopi Goldberg was, oh, I can't show my teeth because, you know, oh, I can't show my teeth. And then the woman had to say, positive affirmation. I is beautiful. You know, and look at all of these women here. I bet they tell their children positive affirmations. I am clever. I am a queen. I am an empress. I am beautiful. I work hard. I can deal with anything. Yeah? If you tell yourself these affirmations day in and day out, what's the problem when you say them on public TV? Because that's what that woman did.
Tony.
No, let me finish, Sheena. Let me finish. Yeah? What that woman did was she said her positive affirmations on TV. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, should you be saying those positive affirmations? I is beautiful. I is clever, boss. Yeah? I don't care. Say your affirmations. Yeah? Be proud of yourself. You are a queen. Somebody out there is attracted to you. Like Karen said, there's a whole heap of arrogant women who have husbands. So don't be jealous of a woman who comes on TV and tells you, I is beautiful, I is precious, I is rich.
Okay. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Faye, do you want to come in? We're running out of time, guys. We've actually run out of time. So, Faye.
Oh boy. Oh gosh. Do you know what? I'm scratching my head right now because I'm just like, woo. Tony, it's not about what she said. All the women are not saying what she said was wrong. It's the delivery and how she came across when she said it. I don't care what you're saying right now. It's the delivery, my darling.
Yeah,
it's not what she said, because we're all about positive. We're all about positive, but it's how you deliver that message. And there's a way to deliver that message that will get her what she wants, actually. Because if you, I believe that
she
if
got
she
4 children.
So be quiet. Quiet now. You have your time. Don't interrupt me. Okay. It's my turn. So it's about the delivery, and I think that if she had delivered that slightly differently, I think what she wants, what she's looking for, she would find it. She would more likely to find it than how she delivered that message, and that's what I have to say.
Thank you, Faye. Theo, I think you have the final say before I come in.
Yeah, I said it at the start. She's very confident, but if she's like that, if that's how she's off the camera, personally, it's not attractive. If she's just going around saying I'm beautiful, it's not an attractive trait in a man or a woman to walk around saying I'm beautiful, I'm hot and sexy. Look at me, look at me, look at me. It's not attractive. It's not an attractive trait. Her going on TV telling people that, no problem. But walking around saying it all day, okay, fine. But her being on television saying it, no problem with it, because it makes good TV and she's telling people she's confident in her skin, which is fine. But personally, if that's how she is personally, if I met her in a club, I think Black Atan said it. If you met her in a club and that's how she came across in a club, would I go with that? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go with that. I would just think that's just too much. Because you don't need to tell me I'm attractive. Look at me, I'm fun, I'm great, and look, I deserve to be. I make my own mind up about that. So yeah, it was fine. Her being confident, I have no problem with confidence. A confident woman is a good woman to me. Everybody should be confident in who they are anyway. So that's not a problem. Confidence is not a problem. Yeah, because she's on TV, so I understood why she was like that. But if she's like that personally, then there's a problem. That's why she's still single, if she's like that in her personal life.
Be proud of your beauty, black women. Be proud of yourself.
Tony, what are you talking about?
We have come to the end of the show. And I am just going to put my little 2 pence in here. Now, this woman, how I see this, is that this woman, there is nothing wrong with this woman at all. For the place where she is on TV, She was on TV for a purpose. The purpose was to say that she's confident or that she's beautiful and she's finding it difficult to find a partner. I think that what we have to understand is, especially about humility, what humility means is having a modest or low view of one's importance. That is what humility means. And so we have to be careful how we throw that out. So somebody got their can they turn their phones off? Because I'm getting some feedback. Okay, so we have to be careful. We have to look at all the facts before we make judgments on people. And this lady said she's beautiful. I did a course this week. I delivered a course and asked the ladies that I was teaching to make post-it notes of affirmations about themselves. One of the reasons why I'm bringing this up is because most women, whether they are black or white or whatever color, struggle with their self-esteem. And if we are sitting here and we are saying that this woman is this, that, and the other, we are wrong. We are wrong. This woman has had to probably fight tooth and nail to feel the way that she does. And she has the right to feel that she is beautiful. She, as every woman on this platform, every man on this platform has the right to feel that they are beautiful in their own right. Whether she took it out of context, whether it was taken out of context on the show is another thing. But we have to remember that we as a people, we have been dumbed down, we have been oppressed, and we have been told that we are not beautiful. So when we see a sister, whether she's mixed or whether she's not, when we see that, uphold her, uplift her. We may not like the delivery, but it's not about the delivery, it's her truth. Last week, we were absolutely spitting nails because that man made the woman feel less than who she was. He said that she was below average at best, and we didn't like it. So who is any one of us to say anything to this woman? At the end of the day, she feels beautiful, whether she's single or not. I'm beautiful. I'm single. Does that make me less humble? No, it doesn't, because that's my truth. Last week, I said if the man had asked me, what would I rate myself out of 10? And he said, and you can't use 7 because he wanted to use a pattern interrupt to shift her mind, I would have said a 12. Why? Because I'm confident in who I am as a woman. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else. I'm saying for me, or where I am in my life, in my 50-odd years, this is where I am today. I didn't feel like this when I was 30. I didn't feel like this when I was 21. But after 50 years, half a century of being on this earth, it has changed my whole perception of the woman I am. And so I'm saying to you guys who are running this woman, and even with the humility, remember what humility means. It means the quality of having a modest to low view of one's importance. I am important. I am. I'm important to me. I'm important to my family. I'm important to my children. I'm important to the people who come into my business. I am important. And so I want us to really, as Black people, really start changing this mindset. We have to. We have to see ourselves. There's no point in me saying, good morning, Queen, good morning, King. And the moment you say, I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, I'm running you. That can't work. It cannot work. So today, I am challenging you. I'm back, guys. I've been off. I dropped the ball for a long time, but I am back. Let me tell you this. So from today, I'm challenging you to start thinking differently And I'm talking to those of you who are on Facebook, those of you who are on YouTube. Start thinking differently about who you are and what you bring to this world and what you can bring to this world. And start telling yourself the truth. You are beautiful. You are the best. Why? Because you should be. You should be. Because you are here and you are here now. So, we are at the end of the show, guys.
Mic drop.
Next week is the Christmas edition. And I want everybody to come out, everybody to tell their friends, their frenemies, everybody to come out and let's have a good Christmas. And I will say this, it's not about celebrating Christmas, but we're having a holiday. And it's been a really tough year for a lot of people. So let's celebrate each other. I would say to you, make sure you have a glass in your hand next week. If you don't drink alcohol, like me, just have some tonic water and lemon. It's very nice. It's very refreshing. All right. Next week, we'll be back here at between 10 and midnight. And again, we're going to have another hot topic. So, guys, for now, I want to thank you. Thank those on Facebook, those who are on YouTube. Thank you for joining. I love you all. Thank you all. And I will see you next week. But for now, ciao, ciao, and stay safe. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You ready? You got me running. You got me running. Got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it.